Let's cut right to the chase. Why should you even care about how you cross your arms or where your eyes dart? Because nonverbal communication is often the real message. We're talking about the raw, unfiltered truth that sometimes slips out, even when our words are trying to tell a different story. Think about it. Haven't you ever known that person who seems to have a split personality? They're like one person over email and then a whole other person face to face. It's not necessarily because the medium dramatically alters their persona. It's mainly because all the nonverbals are absent. So first, nonverbal signals carry immense meaning. Studies suggest that a significant portion of our communication, some say upwards of 70%, is nonverbal. That's a massive chunk of information being exchanged without a single word. This includes everything from facial expressions, gestures, posture, eye contact, and even the tone of your voice. These cues can reinforce, contradict, substitute for, or regulate verbal communication. If your words say, "I'm thrilled to be here," but your slouched posture and crossed arms scream, "I'd rather be anywhere else," well, guess which message people are going to believe? It's the unspoken one every time. This one's actually bit me in the butt a couple of times, so I do my best to be aware of what nonverbal information I'm letting fly. Second, and closely related, nonverbal communication often reveals genuine emotion. Words can lie. People can craft elaborate narratives, but our bodies, well, they're just not as good at deception. When someone is genuinely distressed, their voice might tremor, their shoulders might slump, or their eyes might quickly avert. When they're genuinely excited, their energy might become expansive, and their eyes might sparkle, and their gestures just become more animated. Learning to recognize these genuine emotional indicators can give you incredible insight into what someone is truly feeling, allowing you to respond with more empathy or adjust your approach accordingly. It's like having a backstage pass to their internal world. You do have to be careful though, Sherlock. You're going to be making assumptions based on what they're putting out, but it takes practice, knowledge, behaviors, even better if you already know the person or have observed them over some time, and an awareness of our own internal biases to avoid going down the path of misinterpretation. Think of these more as red flags and question marks you might want to use to guide your active listening skills. Assumptions are dangerous things, so decode with caution. Third, nonverbal cues establish and manage relationships. Think about the first time you meet somebody. A firm handshake, direct eye contact, and an open posture can immediately signal confidence, trustworthiness, and a willingness to engage. Conversely, a weak handshake, shifty eyes, or closed-off stance can immediately create distance or mistrust. It doesn't even have to be the intention. Everyone needs to be aware of the effect their body language and approach can have on others. These initial nonverbal impressions set the tone for the entire interaction and can either open doors or slam them shut. They communicate respect, authority, warmth, or coldness, long before any formal pleasantries are actually exchanged. It's the initial handshake, the quick nod, the shared smile that often dictates the initial rhythm of an interaction. This is also an area where cultural differences can quite literally be everything, and underscores the point that we need to show grace to folks and get to know them before we make snap judgment. Like we just talked about a moment ago, understanding nonverbals is almost more about keeping our own assumptions and biases in check instead of letting our own interpretations of what we're seeing get the better of an interaction. Here's a for instance. Let's say someone who is super intelligent, very kind, and pretty much going to make an awesome employee comes from a culture where eye contact, particularly with a superior, is considered a sign of disrespect. If you're sitting there expecting a steady gaze, which I would too, I'll be honest with you, you might quite literally not be able to look past this cultural difference and give them the opportunity that they're after. Think about that. It's just one example out of many. Okay, so finally, nonverbal communication helps regulate conversations. Have you ever noticed how people subtly signal that they're done talking or that they want to interject? A slight intake of breath, a shift in gaze, or a subtle lean forward can indicate a desire to speak. Conversely, sustained eye contact and an open posture can signal that you're inviting the other person to continue. These unspoken cues facilitate the flow and turn-taking in conversations, preventing awkward interruptions or prolonged silences. It's the silent conductor of our daily dialogue, keeping everything moving smoothly.